My name is Vesa Nopanen, but of course, please call me Vesku, and some call me Mr. Teams as well. So that was a fun kind of I don't know, endorsement I got, and so I'm going to be using that for a while because yeah, it sounds really cool, and it's an honor to be called that. I'm a principal consultant at Microsoft MVP. I work for a Finnish company called Sulava. And there's my contact information, but of course, please do follow, join me at LinkedIn, follow my Twitter account, say hi to me. And I am writing also my blog, myteamsday.com, so you can kind of get a lot of Teams related information from there. And today, or this session is all about once the screen starts to show, it's going to be leveling up your skills in Microsoft Teams and becoming a superhero. This is all about demos. And as you have already basically seen, I used the new polls feature that can be added to the Teams meeting, asking for the information, what's in there. And people have been starting to vote. So most of you seem to be kind of everyday users. So hopefully I'm quite certain that some of these tips and tricks will be very helpful for you, because I'm going to be showcasing a lot of tips and tricks, basically how to do things in Teams, and perhaps some features you weren't aware about. And as you already saw, I was using my inking because I'm sharing this PowerPoint through my Surface. So I can use the pen there to draw on the screen, and we can have some fun in there. And I'm just sharing the screen in there and using that to display my PowerPoint. So that's one way to do things, and kind of to have some more interactivity on the screen, because when you are pointing out things with your pen, you can kind of get much more interactivity with that. Then that combined with polls, have you already noticed you are part of the demo? And that's, of course, in a sense, the future of Teams meetings, because what's coming at Ignite, or what's on the roadmap for Ignite-ish, so basically March and April, there's going to be features like creating these webinars or webinars and sessions, events with Microsoft Teams, and using the capabilities there to kind of showcase all your information to the attendees, and while being interactive. So we are now using a Teams meeting, we are not using a live event, so we can have a kind of feedback channel and multiple speakers and kind of much more rich experience. All right, I think it's time for the next steps, which is basically the demo parts. Well, you were already in the demos, but let's take it a bit further in here. So what I'm going to do next is, because I'm sharing my screen, as you saw, I'm going to join the second meeting. I'm going to join that because otherwise you wouldn't be seeing what I'm going to be showing here. So let me just join that without any audio. As you can see, the screen is great because you can choose that you don't use any audio, for example, and in this case we don't want an extra audio to be shown or heard, because otherwise that would cause issues to this presentation. But in here, well, you can see the Teams meeting in a separate window. We can see the participant list. This is, as I said, this is a different meeting than what we are now. We have the chat and we have the reactions. And so if you are in a public preview, you are seeing these, and probably they are going to be rolling out to the normal version as well. But what is great is that the raise hand has now the shortcut key. So if you navigate there, you are getting a hint about the Ctrl-Shift-K, where you can just raise a hand, and so you can kind of lower the hand or raise a hand without having to navigate to that specific place. You can create the breakout rooms, yeah, that's known, and then we have all the other options, like the meeting options. And this is the kind of point I was referring earlier about how do you create these events with Teams meetings. Well, first of things is that who can bypass the lobby. I had that lobby on for this event earlier, like I had it on only me, and then I can kind of change that, kind of open the lobby doors by putting that to everyone, turning off every extra audio, whatever there is, and then deciding who can present. In this meeting, it's going to be people in my organization, in the Teams Nation, and then we can promote people to be presenters afterwards. Or we can just go ahead and choose specific people or only me. And allowing attendees to unmute, that's a big thing. Like now I'm muting, you have muted everybody who is on attendee status here, so you won't be able to open your microphones. And it will keep presenters to kind of a calm, okay, we can go ahead and do our presentation, and afterwards you can, when we open the mics, then people can kind of unmute themselves and start speaking. But what is new is the allow meeting in chat, basically enabled, disabled, or in meeting only. So can people be using chat? There are use cases for not allowing the chat, like if you are doing a company presentation town hall and you really don't want that all that. Well, when you have that 300 or 700 people in the chat, it can be really crowded, so you may want to turn it off. Okay, now focus on the presentation, and when the chat is open, then we can start going through the Q&A and stuff. And the allow reactions, if turned off, it would control these. Last time I tested, it didn't work yet, but I didn't test it today. And let's see, I'm just going to be putting the chat on so I can see if there are any questions, and I can see what's happening there. But the point here was the sharing. Of course, I want to share something and show you something new, is that I have the Teams Nation Bangladesh presentation also in here. And by the way, how the PowerPoints end up in this list is that when you have opened that PowerPoint in Teams, so it may be on your OneDrive or it may be in your team, in a channel file somewhere, but when you open it from there, it will appear on this list. That's the surest and fastest way to get it here and to be the first one. So let me just open that. And I'm not going to redo my presentation from here. That's not the point. But the point is that you can see that there's no presenter view. And that's actually on the GA version now. So if you are sharing a PowerPoint from Teams, you are getting this this view, and it's a great view. The only thing it doesn't support was this inking. And so if I would have loved to kind of to use the inking there in this view, but it wasn't there yet, and hopefully it will be there. But that's kind of it's now very much more useful to use this sharing PowerPoint. It will give attendees also some more kind of not availability, but they can do more than before. Like they could be moving on their own with this navigation, like going back and forth on this meeting, like going through the slides on their own. But if you don't like that, I have heard comments about, okay, I don't want to use this because people can go on with their slides on their own pace. No, not if you are aware about this I button here. If I turn this on or off, the attendees won't be able to move on their own. They are forced to be just looking at the slide you have selected to be shown there. And of course, you can then stop presenting, but the thing is that we have the speaker notes here, so we can see, okay, what's kind of when we are presenting that we can see that, and the audience will only see this area here. Okay, something else that was that's possible to be added here. Okay, you are already seeing that. Okay, I was inserting that forms poll there, and how I did that. I'm just going to go and edit the meeting because I have that option here. I'm an organizer, so I can start editing and adding applications to the meeting. And what I was able to add here, for example, I was adding the forms poll to get this polling I just used earlier into this meeting. So I just go ahead and add it and save it, and I could add a poll to this meeting. It will just crunch a bit, and I can start creating a new poll. And all presenters can be doing that. Once the organizers have added the forms application there, the presenters can start using that. But what is more important or interesting or not, more or not, is basically that you can create your add your own Power Apps to the meeting as well. So I have created this kind of a Power App and defined it so that it can be added to the meeting. So once I add it in there, I can see that, okay, I can add that to that meeting, and in here I'm still on the design mode, yeah, but I could be starting using that Power App here, or I could be adding some other applications there, Poly or documents that would be coming alongside with the meeting. But what is important is the top part here is that optimized for meetings, because these applications will show up in the meeting. And if you think about, okay, how do they show up, is that this is how the polls are showing up for me. Is that I can go ahead and start adding polls even during the meeting. That's what I just did before starting this one. Or I can start answering the Power App survey. So I can activate that and start getting forward with this questionnaire and whatever I'm going to be doing there. And of course, ideally, you will be connecting those Power Apps to your businesses or processes or for fun when you are having a Teams meeting. So basically adding much more engagement there. And something a bit more what I want to show from Teams in here is that using the Teams client before I move to the web client version, is that if you go to the right on top of your application here, for example, tasks, you can right click it and then you can pop it out. So you can pop out apps as you can pop out chats. So it's very easily hidden, but we can see, okay, we have some tasks here and we can use them. And I could be doing the same for approvals, for example, or perhaps it's the employee survey application I was using in the meeting. I can just pop it out as a separate app here and start using that. This is very useful if you have multiple screens. For example, you want to have some of the applications on different screen than the actual Teams interface. So there are some great options here with Teams already. Okay, let's close that one so it's not going to be giving us any issues, and start sharing another screen. Let me just open the real Teams I have in here and share the screen. If you have any questions, please do use the chat. I'm going to be trying to follow the top on the right. And there we are. Now we are in another demo mode. I'm trying to ignore my Surface from now on. So mode. First, something that has been there for a long time in Teams, but that you may have kind of overlooked before. One of the things you may want to do. Okay, let's just upload my presentation there, because I kind of did that to the another Teams. That's what you get sometimes. Okay, we can drag and drop files there. That's nothing new, nothing special, or we can upload them. But what you can do with files is, of course, to keep in mind is that you can do things with them. For example, I have the pin to top in here, or it's actually in this menu as well. But since I have a bit of zoom, it's not showing up there automatically. And I like to use the zoom so the audience can see in the what's happening in there. So let's just choose to pin to top. And this is how you can bring in some of the presentations or files you have to the good attention of your users. So when they are shown here in the top of the Files tab, you can access them very easily and you can open them. So they are basically highlighted there. Then I have noticed that not that many people are using this, so that's why I wanted to include it this time, to have some kind of the focus on the Files tab. Okay, what you can do here with files. Something else you could be doing is that if you have multiple views there, so let's just go ahead and change this view, and let's do something like editing these details. Then we could be saving that, or we just want to edit the current view. It will open in the PowerPoint, in the SharePoint. I've been using too many PowerPoints recently, I think. So it will go ahead and open. I can go ahead and start adding stuff like what do I want to add there? Interesting, there's a like count. I haven't seen that for a while, or sensitivity. So we could change that view. We can see the like count. Well, there's nothing in there. And we could save this view as the second view. And it could be a public one. And once we get back to Teams, we can change to that view in here. Well, it doesn't include the grouping, we noticed, but it does include the column we just added. So you can do things there with files a lot more than you were able to do those a year ago or half a year ago. What else is here? Oh, well, I can choose to open it in Teams. I can copy the link. This is about to change. This is still the old one, but this is getting a new sharing dialog in a month. But here you can also check it out or open in SharePoint and rename it. What you cannot do here is you cannot edit the metadata. And that's one of the big things that you can't do, but you can use the custom formatting to create a new kind of actionable columns if you like, or you can create some formatting there if you want. So it's possible to extend Teams in that sense, so you can make it look much better than on default. But the thing is that don't ignore this file view totally, because there's a lot of usage for that, and you can do things like pin to top and stuff like that. And as you notice, the pinning disappeared because we used this second view, and when we get back to the old documents, we can see the pinned documents. So you can have different documents in different views pinned on top, and that's what matters. Okay, then I have to switch to something else, because this is what I wanted to show from the other tenant. I'm running a different tenant here. This is the one I was using from Surface first. Is that I can go ahead and add applications. Yes, I could be adding the same Power App. I added the meeting here and something else. I could be adding a channel calendar showing the channel meetings. But what I want to add now is the whiteboard. So let's go ahead and add a whiteboard to the channel. We can give it a name. Let's put a Teams Nation whiteboard. And it will be added to the channel. This is rather new, so you can add some whiteboard there and start working together with your team, kind of innovating and doing stuff, or just saying hello, and we can do some editing there even with the mouse. So I don't have the service pen right now, but I can go ahead and start doing changes there and drawing as well. Yeah, that's a very nice square, or not. Okay, I'm drawing with my mouse. Or I can add these post-it notes here, star sticky notes. And the thing is that when you're trying to move it, try to grab it from the middle and not from the side as I was doing that, because otherwise it will just move it around. Okay, and if you want to work with a larger area, there's of course this kind of the button where you can open the whiteboard up, and then we can see it fully on the screen, which is very handful or useful. But what is fun is that I want to change now my demo account to this other tenant. So I'm going to that same tenant. I was in here. We have the Teams Nation whiteboard here, and let's just open that one. So I'm now a guest using the same whiteboard, and it's opening up. And luckily, yeah, it worked. So as a guest, I can start working with this same whiteboard. Yeah, it's not that good. Hello from a guest. So we can be using that as a guest user. If I open that in a web browser version, I'm going to get an error because I'm a guest. So the only way guests can use these whiteboards is through Teams tab, but that's more than it was before. And now looking back on the original one, yeah, I can see that it's there. Hello from a guest. So it's working, and it's kind of something you can use. Switch back to the labs version. Okay, and go through a couple of oldies but goodies. It's like when we are starting a new conversation, and that's very common to have the accident of now press the right, type something and press the enter, and it's done. It kind of shows on the screen, and then you have to go and start editing. Like what happens, like let's put the Teams nation Bangladesh is, and I press enter. Okay, not cool. What I was typing is kind of already shown in there. You can press an up arrow, so you can go ahead and start editing that. And we can do more edits. But what is more fun is, of course, Alt, Shift Control X, Control plus X. This is something I use a lot, is to open the expanded edit mode. And if I press an enter here, is that I don't get that reply published automatically. And I can add a subject as well. So it's a very good shortcut key to use. The other one you may want to use is that when you are in the first position of this new line and you press the bigger than mark, so you are going to be in a quote mode. So, and this is just type this one and it will automatically open the quote. So when you are in the first position here, that's the important thing. Otherwise, it won't be doing that. So that's going to be something helpful, or kind of giving it a kind of a head start on, without going here and saying, okay, that's the quote and I can use that. So I really like that shortcut key because it's really fast to use. Of course, if you are creating an announcement to Teams, to your team, something else, and you may not want those replies, you can see that there's this everyone can reply. And if you drop down that, you and the moderators can reply. So whoever is writing that message or topic can reply, and everybody who's designed as moderators in the channel can reply to that message. So this is a very good way if you don't really want a conversation about something. Perhaps it's just a one-way announcement. There's more information coming up later, and you don't want that to be lost in lots of comments. Or if you have something you want to post into multiple channels or teams, you can click on the multiple channel post, and you can then select the teams. You can see all your teams here, and then you can go ahead and start kind of selecting to which teams you are going to be posting this. Every team or channel you post will have their own reply thread. So you are not getting a kind of concentrated reply threads with everything showing up. That's not going to happen. Every channel is a separate entity or place, and so because they have different people in there, they may have different permissions there. So you don't want that cross-post replies to be reflected to this source place. Yeah, sometimes you would want to see those in every place, but in reality, you usually don't. So, but that's how the feature works, and it would be great to have an option. I want to have to be able to see all the replies in one place, but that's not even possible. So just keep in mind that all the replies go to different places. But it's very useful if you have an announcement to make and you want to make sure that everybody knows about that. So you just select some critical teams or critical channels that the same announcement will be posted to, and it will go there basically at the same time. There isn't any significant delays there. And okay, let's get away from that editing mode. Of course, what you want to use sometimes is that use the search feature. Like if you press a Control plus F, so let's just put it in here. It's a context-based search. This came in the autumn, I think, and it's been there for a while. So if I hit the Control F, it will automatically focuses on this channel where I am at. I can type a word. Let's put the Teams and hit enter. So I will get the search results here that are focusing on this channel conversations. I can do the same in chat. So if I just go to the, do I have a chat here or do I just have a lot of demos? There's the UK chat. I think that's in, no, there isn't anything interesting there. Let's just go and pick up the urgent one, and let me just put the urgent there in the chat or in a group chat so I can see. Here's the message about that one. Teams search is not always the best one, but as you can see, it's getting better all the time. Yeah, so if I'm searching for urgent, it's not going to be finding that, but urgent is going to be a usable one. So just keep in mind that how do you are searching for a word. If you are trying to search for something in the middle, it's going to be much tougher to find. And if I'm putting the Teams here, I can get the messages. It's going to highlight me the top results. There's something from a flow, and then there's all results. And if you are not aware about, there are filters, so you can select some times and dates. When do you see this? The Microsoft Search is coming for Teams roadmap for next summer, so it might change this behavior a lot, but currently if you want to search for something, you can find it from here, and there are filters, so you can choose to only show the document name and something that has been edited by me, so I can have a much shorter list. This covers the documents in those teams I am in. So that's important. These are the teams I am in that they have these documents. So we are not getting anything from SharePoint or intranet or somewhere there. This is just showing the documents from teams I am in. Do you have a list of shortcuts published anywhere? Yeah, you can have a list of shortcuts by pressing Control plus point. So if I'm hitting the Control plus point here, I'm getting a keyboard shortcuts directly in Teams. So you can kind of get a lots of these shortcuts in there, and there's see shortcuts on all platforms. So there's a link for that. I can post that to the chat as well. So there are resources already about that inside Teams. And as pointed out in there is that if I hit the slash here on the search bar, I will get access the quick commands here. There are lots of great commands like do not disturb. That will put me to the installed it to do not disturb mode, or I can put myself to available from that. But of course, very useful finds are also seeing somebody's activity, calling to someone, going to the files directly. But what I use a lot is to go into the directly to the specific team or channel. So this is good to know. And of course, the what's new in Teams. That's a really useful one. It's not all the latest ones, but what Microsoft has published. So you can kind of see what's out there. So I guess the reactions are now in the GA because that has been pointed out in the what's new section in a few days ago. And here's about the Shift Control K about the raise hand in meetings allowers. So this is kind of useful. And also the presenters, you can pick where you left off. So if you are kind of taking over the slides, that was something I didn't highlight during when I was showing the sharing of the PowerPoint, that if you have other presenters, they can take over the slide deck and move forward, and then you can take it back, and then you can resume or dismiss. So that's something useful as well. But what we want to go ahead and check out is the new approvals application that came Teams in January. And this allows you to create, add up, kind of act on approval requests or create new ones directly from within Teams. This covers basically all Office 365 approvals. That ends up in a flow. You can go to the Power Automate and add approvals to your business processes, and they will end up in people's approvals application. So that's a very easy way. That's kind of approval hub to be that you can use, where you can just accept the approvals. What I show as a demo usually, okay, I need a day off or something like that. Well, actually, I need a new keyboard. This one is loud, I guess. And I'm just going to put the Sulava admin to approve that one, or actually I'm putting also myself so we can see the approval request. I don't require a response for everyone. The current one is real noisy. And I could put the attachments and they will be uploaded to my OneDrive and will be shared with all the approvers. Or I could have even the customer responses. So instead of them having to say approve or reject, I might give them two options. Okay, yes, you are okay to do it, or yes, you can buy two. Okay, that would not be fair. But let's just hit the approval. So this is the manual approval. Why I would be using this instead of a chat? There are things like people who are getting lots of notifications, and they are getting lots of messages, lots of app mentions. They might be lost in the activity feed. If I go there, yes, I can see the approval request, and if I click on that, it will open that automatically, and I can just hit approve. And here is a trace. You cannot delete this. So if I just open the new keyboard request, this is something I have here. As you can see, I have done a lot of different demos in here. And we can see, okay, rejected by someone. I can't delete this. So this is kind of having the traceability and kind of a compliance in there that, okay, I know that, okay, my manager approved this one and it should be okay. So they cannot delete the messages or change their opinion later. And the other part is that if these are lost, they can just open the approvals application and filter it to requested ones, for example, to see, okay, what do I have to approve? I've been away for a week. I have lots of things to do, and I have a huge number of active notifications there. So kind of seeing all these in a single place, that's fun. But I also mentioned using these in the okay, let's put the apps there so we can just see the applications as well. But business processes, lost my thought for a moment. So I created a kind of one external process. I have a demo blog here called Demo Launcher. Don't go and follow that one. Follow just my blog. Don't follow this one because this is just for demos. This doesn't contain anything useful for you. Is that I can add demo content. Let's put the Teams Nation Bangladesh here. Some info about the blog post. And we could go ahead and just add this meetup here, and we should be able to add it with the URL and embed it to our blog post. And we can publish that. So once we are publishing that, we can, where's my flows there? I have this approval post. This is a very short one. This is nothing major, but we can see that, okay, it's going to be doing a few things here. Let me just hitting the trigger because I just published the post and it should be kind of starting to search if there's a new post, and it will activate this a lot faster than just waiting, because Flow has activation time that can take even 5 minutes. So I'm not going to spend that time waiting for that. But basically I have this, when a post is created for targeting to that specific post, I'm going to get the post information, I'm going to get all the statistics, and I will create a new approval. And that approval is hitting here on my activity feed, and we can see, okay, this looks really bad because it doesn't support the HTML, so it needs a bit more work. And but I have that information here. Approve the text. Yeah, it's a bit bad, but I have this link to the post. I can check it out from here. So don't include the HTML in the approval request. It's a bad practice. But let's put some comments. Okay. And we can then do actions based on that. So if you have some source you want to highlight to your team, for example, but for example, blog posts, but you are not certain, do you want every blog post to appear there? Then I have the approval phase, and if the approval has been said yes, it will then go ahead and post that message to the team. And we can now see that message here in the announcement channel. There's the new demo launcher post, and it's actually showing something about that meetup too, which is awesome. This is better than on my tests yesterday. So you can keep the team updated what's happening, and of course you would want to make this a real URL. And this is something I did to my blog earlier, which is a bit more better formatted about my teamsday.com. I have, okay, the URL doesn't work, but I have the blog URL working here. Okay, so that's fun, and yeah, we are recording this, and this will be shared to our YouTube channel later. Okay, Power Virtual Agents. There's a nice FAQ about Viva. And I'm just going to open it up and show you. Okay, there's the what's about the Viva topics, what's being said. There are several questions and answers here. And if you want to share that information, people are in your team, people are asking from you about the Viva. Okay, what's it is? What's the thing? You could create a chatbot quite easily that can help you to answer those questions. You can create a new chatbot using the database for Teams environment. So basically you go to Power Virtual Agents, create a new chatbot, and then give it the basic information about the chatbot. You can then put a name there, okay, the team where it's going to be added to, and you will be adding a name, basically a name and a language you will be using that chatbot with. So we could put the Bangladesh bot. And it's going to be, it supports some of the languages, not every language. Finnish is not there yet, but so we are creating it English. It will take a few minutes when it starts to create this bot. And then you can start adding questions and answers there. But since I'm impatient and there's going to be more, what I want to show you is that I have a Power Bot here and that I already did before and that I can use to show it around for you, is that I can go to topics. And there's the suggest topics person here. And what I did earlier is I pasted this link there, and you could use different links, or you could have PDFs, docx, CSV, and as long as it's public to be fetched from, so you can't have it in SharePoint, but just have to have it in somewhere where this bot can fetch it without any authentication. And if it's in the correct format, it will through that path and can show you around, okay, what kind of topics it suggested and found from there. So I can choose about, okay, this is Microsoft Viva, this is the message. I can add the topics and edit. Okay, let's just add a few ones so we can have some content there. It's going to take it for a few moments when it starts to add new topics there. And all these topics it's going to be adding, they're going to be offline at first. Let me just take away. Okay, so there were some issues there. Let's see if those errors will be resolved. But then I can go ahead and I can start turning them on and off. So I have just go ahead and click around blindly, and it will work there. And that one didn't yet, but okay. Then we had these topics on. Okay, we had this duplicate. Let's just remove one, and I can go there and I can go ahead and edit the keywords, trigger phrases, and I can then use go ahead and do the changes to these answers. This is a really easy way do changes. Let's try some phrases like what is Microsoft Viva, and it might just find us the answer or not. It didn't find the exact answer, but it kind of figured out, okay, it might be some of these. And yeah, I can use this for Microsoft Viva and topics. Okay, so it's kind of a showing this one I just edited. Now that when I want to really use this one more, okay, let's go here. We can use the publish feature. So we are going to be publishing the bot latest version, and then I could be opening that bot directly in Teams, and I can go ahead and ask the same question here. What is Microsoft Viva? Yeah, I had some other demos there and in the same bot earlier this month, but so this is something we just added there, and yeah, it's already in there. What is Microsoft Viva and topics, and we can see the answer. So this is one way you can create very easily a very quick and chatbot that can answer the questions. This is something I really like. Included it with Teams license. Yeah, there are some limitations of database for Teams, but hey, start experimenting if you haven't. Power Automate, that's another great application here that I want to highlight. It's just to show around that you can create your own power automates or automations. So you can start increasing your productivity in Teams. Of course, this is one of those key things becoming a superhero. Let's say you want to come back to the specific message later. So there are templates. If you go to this create area, you can see different categories like productivity here, and I can create a task from message that's coming out of the box in a month. But I could schedule a meeting with the sender, saving that message to specific OneNote, or if there's a new file somewhere, let my team know about it. But of course, we want to follow up on a message. These are really hard to do. Like if you are an average user there, you want to follow up on a message, so please ping me on this in a few hours. So I can just hit continue and create a flow. And yeah, it's created. That was really difficult. It took almost a minute or half a minute. And if I go here and I can now hit the 3 dots on the message, and if it's not showing up, just move around a bit and we can see follow up on a message. Hey, it's there. Ping me in 20 minutes about this one. Okay, so that's a very effective way to start kind of improving how you use Teams. But of course, you want to be a superhero in your team size. So you go to the run-only users. You are in the editing mode. Of course, you want to add other owners too, but run-only users, and you want to add your team here. So let's put the whole platform company or the platform IT team. Let's try if we can. Okay, I hit somewhere interesting. So let's. Well, I ran into problem. That's always a fun thing. Let's try again. You can have a specific users there, but let's put the platform, and we can have the IT there or HR. Sorry, but how they are going to be using it, their current context or your context. This depends on the flow, but because they want to get the notification, not you. And now everyone who's a member of that team can start using the same flow. So it's a really powerful feature to kind of you do something great, something you can automate with Power Automate, and then you share it with your team, and you tell them about the feature. That's the thing. You're a hero. You want to share things you learn, and this is a kind of a very great way to do things. And of course, something else you might want to do is kind of notice that what you can do in Teams is that you can have different triggers. This was one of the we used now in the one we didn't have even to choose is the for a selected message. But when a new team member is added to a team, so let's put the team there and let me just find some team. Okay, let's put it in the platform IT, for example, and put it a name welcome message. Of course, if you kind of have a habit of not putting the name, you don't remember to change it. And we just use the Teams here to do something about that. So as you can see, there are a lot of activities we can do with Teams. Like we could create a Teams meeting with someone. We can post a message. We can use adaptive cards and wait for a response. So we can create interactive processes. This is a great list of things. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to post a message to the team. And so let's find the right one, because as you can see, there are lots of options. I could just use the bluntly this one, but or using the adaptive card to the chat or channel. But this post message in a chat or channel that's a new one, and you can do both ways. You could use post a message as yourself or as a flow bot, and we are going to put that to the channel of that team we just chose. So we are using the platform IT. And let's put the experimental channel and hi. And for actually what we do first, we take the at mention. Okay, it's not getting that one. Teams to find things, because there's this at mention. No, where's that? Get at mention, so it's with the at sign. And we can use the member who unique ID of the user. We just got it, and we just put it hi, and put that mention to that, and welcome to the team. Of course, how you would be using this one, you would be adding, sending that person a message. Perhaps you want them to approve the NDA first, or perhaps you want to have them kind of team practices their instructions, who's who, whatever information you want to have about that team. And we go to the platform IT, and we just add a person there, and let's put okay, channel name. Create a channel. Already doing mistakes. Add a member. Please click on the right place, Vesku today, and let's put Matti Kukkamäki there, and we can add that person to the team, and we already have a message. Okay, we have added Matti to the team, and soon we should be getting a message in the experimental channel if everything went well. Okay, this is a different flow. Where was I doing that flow earlier? Of course I didn't. I was using the Teams on the time. So let's go to flow. Something learned, use the flow application when you are testing this. And it should be powering up really soon. And after this, I'll go back to the presentation. So we have the post message to the channel, and we have, hey, person, we should have added a space there. But yeah, that's how you can start interacting with Power Automate in a team quite easily. And we added the Power Automate automatically there as well. And if you want to go and check out something new, what cool things you can do with Power Apps, Dataverse for Teams, there's now 5 different template applications you can start adding, like employee ideas, inspections, etc. The thing, you can go ahead and edit those after you have added. So it's kind of giving you a great head start about things. So what we have or had is that we did the demos, and there's time for some takeaways about the last minute things. Okay, sorry about that one. I wanted to see the time because I was running long, as Carolina suspected. Is that you be using Power Platform skills to stay up in teams, really kind of show cool things to your teammates, and you can kind of do things. You can automate things. You can start looking like something happens through almost like magic, because it just happens on the background. notifying people about the new files, new forms responses, something simple, and that can get you up and started with all these cool Power Automate flows you can do. And those templates will give you a head start. As an average user, that's a really easy way to get started. Even with that follow-up message, hey, please ping me about this message later. I don't want to add it to my tasks separately. So I'm busy now, I accidentally read it, and mark as unread is not enough. Using the meeting options to create these kind of virtual events, that's important that you can do that. Use the chat control and of course, who can open the mic, for example, and whatever is coming there. So watch out for the Ignite. The Power Virtual Agents, I love those ones, the little bots, and that can do lots of fun things there. And you can attach actually Power Automate to them, so you can make them more smart and more process oriented. And share it about the others. Share your knowledge, share your learning, because that's what's making you the superhero. And for the next, in Teams Nation Bangladesh, Carolina Kettukare is going to show something about how to get your management on board to Teams based on real-life customer cases. So I'm really looking forward for that. And from that on, it's about, then we step to the France part with Patrick, about Outlook to Teams part, and then to Spain with Mar and Teams and database. I think there's going to be more about a few of these topics I just mentioned about. And then for the rest of the day, presenters are coming from UK with Chris Hord and Peter Rising. So it's going to be an exciting day. Please stick around. And if there are any questions, I can answer them in the chat soon. But thank you, everyone. Yes, I ran long. But if you want to see other long sessions, please do.